Senator Romney will close us out.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for keeping us all here so I get my few moments. But there are just a few things I want to mention, which is Chairman Menendez and I last year authored an amendment which was passed in the NDAA that requires the United States State Department to develop a comprehensive strategy to address the threat of emerging China. Ranking Member Risch and I sent a letter to President Biden urging the administration to start implementing our legislation. In our letter, we requested an update on the progress after 60 days. The 60 days mark has passed. Now, Secretary Blinken has laid out 3 principles that the administration is pursuing in dealing with China: invest, align, and compete. But I would note that we need to go from principles to a comprehensive strategy and include tactics. And that includes our approach to developing countries, to our global trade arrangements, to economic measures we want to put in place, to our research and development investments here, to our military procurement, to global communication strategies, to access to our universities, access to our laboratories, to visas we provide to the Chinese, to international institutions that we're going to be involved with, to our social media strategies, to raw material strategies and our processing here of those raw materials, to the role of USAID, to defending the tactics the Chinese are using. You get where I'm going, which is a comprehensive strategy includes dozens upon dozens of strategic and tactical decisions that are combined, changed over the years. But it is essential, in my view, that we develop that kind of strategy and that it's kept in a classified setting. Doesn't have to go out publicly, but we really need that. We also, in this legislation, looked at the strategies of that nature that were developed by Presidents Truman and Reagan and others, the work of George Kennan and Dean Acheson, and said, okay, how were these strategies developed back then? How did they put them together as they were dealing with strategies to deal with the Soviet Union? And they involved outside individuals, not just internal, because they knew internal people would be captured by groupthink. They wanted people from the outside, some who had experience in developing these kinds of strategies. I spent my private sector career doing something called strategy consulting. That's what we helped companies develop strategies. I have to tell you, it drives me nuts to watch us deal with China and have objectives, but to see everybody going in different, we don't have a comprehensive, let's put it together strategy. The legislation, which Chairman Menendez and I submitted and was passed, calls for bringing in an advisory panel of outside experts. It would include people probably from the Center for Strategic and International Studies, from AEI, from Brookings, I mean, a whole range of individuals that would come in and offer ideas and suggestions, comprehensively put that together. If we do that, it's likely to exist beyond just one administration and becomes the basis for our strategy going forward. I strongly encourage the State Department to take the lead in making sure that we assemble that advisory board. We lay out what would be included in a strategy. We consider the widest array of options, and that we actually put that together and ultimately brief Chairman Menendez, Ranking Member Risch, and others in the committee on that the strategy is, that this process is being undertaken and what some of the conclusions are. I think it's essential. I'm going to close off with that comment. I'm not going to ask for a response. You have to run to another briefing, and I'm not going to hold you up from doing that. But I just want to underscore how critical it is that we go from ad hoc principles and tactics that we apply from time to time to instead fashioning, with the help of outside minds, a comprehensive series of options. We select the option that is our strategy. We move on that basis. Not doing so, in my opinion, will leave us in something less than the leadership position we so desperately need to preserve our freedom and prosperity.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, Senator, we agree with you. We are, in fact, working on every one of those tactical areas that you identified, every single one. Bringing them together and doing the deep work on each one is incredibly time-consuming, but we are doing that work. The Secretary does have a Foreign Affairs Policy Board. We have an International Security Board. I will take back your idea that we have an ongoing China-focused council, which we don't have a specific, though we do consult with outside consultants and outside experts on a constant basis. The Secretary did so in his run-up to the potential trip he was making to Beijing, which we postponed. But I think all of the areas that you laid out are absolutely ones on which we have to be laser focused and bring together those tactics into an integrated strategy. That is what we are working on doing, and having every single mission around the world have a bespoke strategy for their country, because every country is different, and China is present in every single one. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Secretary. Thank you.